Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a speed build over on The Sims 4, where we're actually building it for my legacy sim. This is the Laxon family. It is the eldest daughter. Her name is Anya, and she is about to go to university. She's awaiting acceptance right now. I won't give too much away about her. You'll have to come back and see her story that I do plan on posting here on YouTube. So my goal here was actually to create um, a townhome style build where I could experiment a bit with the new for rent pack. So here you can see I'm like building two townhomes and I'm trying to put in something I've seen other YouTubers do with this new pack is like make this open to the outside basement, and I'm struggling a lot here trying to figure out like how do I do it, how do I make this work, because like you can see there's still the floor there, but it's not going away. And I've seen people just like legitimately make it open, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. So I ended up having to like pause here for a second and Google it. And apparently, if you're having this issue too, you've got to remove that fence. Like that's the issue. You got to remove the fence, click the bottom, and then yeah. So remove the fence, click the bottom like I did there, and then it opens to the outside. So it was my bad. It was user error of why it wasn't working. But now that we've got that sorted, we're actually going to continue on. So the goal of this build is to have one side be for my sim to have all to herself, maybe with a roommate. I haven't decided yet, but one whole side to her, and then um, have the rest of them just be like a communal area or just some other rentals. And I think we end up doing like 5 rentals in this building, which has been pretty cool to be able to figure this out. So because I think it would be nice to have a bunch of college students living around with you. So you can see me here kind of playing with the idea of some staircases to see what I want to do to yeah make that work. But I'm curious to know if anyone else is playing with the new for rent pack. I for one am having so much fun with it. I think it is one of the best packs that they've released in a while. It's really cool. I think I find it a lot more interesting than the horse ranch one, which might be controversial. But I don't know. I find myself playing with just regular Sims gameplay rather than with horses. Like I tend to sometimes give my Sims pets, but more than not, like everyone's gonna live in an apartment. I mean, I live in an apartment right now. I've only lived in apartments. I don't have enough money in this economy to buy a house. Yeah. Anyway, you can see here we're getting back to trying to figure out the floor plan and the roof, and I actually give the units a little bit more space by giving them some balconies. So I'm playing a little bit with the floor plan on this one to see how I can give them a balcony, because I thought that would be nice to have like another extra window, a little extra space. I don't know, maybe they can have a planter out there or something. But then we're coming over to the room that my sim is going to live in, and so it's actually going to be a two-story for her, because I mean it's my sim and it's my gameplay, so why not? Um, but we are working on the floor plans here, and I actually really struggled with the floor plans because I did give myself just a cube. Like I gave myself just a rectangle that I wanted to build, and as much as it sounds weird, building in a rectangle is very odd. Like it's hard because you are limited to the amount of space, and you don't want to make these long, skinny hallways. Especially myself, with someone who has like claustrophobia naturally. Uh, Skinny little hallways make me nervous, regardless. So it's kind of hard for me to do that. But I do end up at the end of the day figuring out what I wanted to. So I end up placing a little balcony off to the front and then a little balcony off to the side, as well, off of I believe the what becomes the master. Now I used a lot of packs for this build. You can see right there I used the like edging for the roof, which is from either high school years or university. I can't remember. And then there's a ladder that is now base game, but it originally came with Eco Lifestyle. You can see some of those doors are from the new Growing Together pack from earlier last year. So I really wasn't researching myself to anything. I end up using Stranger Things and Clearly, I'll use university because we're in the university world, and I use pets and stuff. So, if you want to see anything done in a certain style or with a certain set of packs or whatever, do let me know in the comments below, and I will see about making that happen. I love to build in The Sims, and it's honestly one of my goals of these builds and stuff to redo an entire save. So like every build in every world that I own is mine. Like I've made it. That would be really cool because I do a lot of builds, and you can actually find some of my builds and some of my families on the gallery. I'm just Julia Does Things on the gallery, and I do end up putting this unfurnished on the gallery, and then I will put it furnished on the gallery too once I'm done. But as you'll see later, I don't actually finish it in this because we were building it on stream, and I had already hit the 2 hour mark, so it was just getting kind of long. So we finished up every unit in this house except for the one that my sim lives in. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stream again and just decorate um, just for my sim, and really like tell you a bit more about her and her story. And then if we get it done, we can also get into some gameplay because I'm hoping that this can become a just like ongoing legacy, and I can keep building new homes for every generation and every new like storyline that we go to. I haven't quite figured out what Anya's gonna do, but hey, I mean we're starting in university, so um, but yeah. Oh, another pack I used. I just saw myself use the cottage living little windows, but we're actually getting to a point where I'm gonna start putting some more detail. I believe I just changed out some of that brick because I decided I wasn't going for a brick theme. I was kind of making it this gray theme instead, like gray brick, gray path, and then like the white edging and stuff, with just the color accents being the windows and the doors. So we experiment a little bit here with what colors we want the buildings themselves. I wanted them to match the world and match each other, but not be identical, which was kind of cool to play around with because this is something you'd see in real life, right? Like row housing or town housing. Um, so that would be pretty cool. And then you see me experimenting a little bit with what siding I want to do, and then I get really frustrated at this brick right here because it doesn't quite match the little bump out I did on the back. But eventually I do figure out that I'm just gonna paint, just like give it that little like I don't know what it's called when there's brick on the bottom and then siding, but like that's exactly what I'm doing. And then I'm figuring out the roof. You can see that little ladder. We can talk about it more when we furnish her house directly, but she'll actually have roof access. And I plan on putting like, if she's going to be in university, she can like have a party or do something like that, and that'd be pretty cool. So here we are finishing up some of the outside. We do some landscaping to match the environment. I put lots of flowers and some trees, and really just try to blend it into the backyard. But also, let's be real. If you lived in one of these like townhouses when you were in college, you're probably not taking too much care of your garden, especially not like what your landlord would own. So like the outside, the trees and stuff that's not in your little fenced area. So I didn't want to go overboard. But yeah, so now we're actually going to come in and start finishing up the other units. So we're going to come in here and we're going to put flooring and we're going to do paints, and we're actually going to start furnishing for the other tenants of this building. And this is when you'll see that I will switch it to a residential rental in a minute here. And so when I move it to a residential rental, I start to assign what houses are for who. So I believe we're gonna start in the like. Are we gonna start in the mid unit or all the way down at the bottom? I can't remember. But I start and I try to make like a theme for every one of these little houses or one of these little units. I named it College Road. Switch it to a residential rental, and then start assigning rooms. So let's get into it a little bit of what. Oh, you can see me here putting it on the gallery for what it was. And then just throwing it out there. Twitch.tv/JuliaDoesThings. That's where we streamed it. We stream at least twice a week to try and play some new games. I've been playing Sims, Stardew Valley, and I want to play Slime Rancher again, I think. I'm going to re-download it. I have it on my Steam, but I haven't played it in a while, so I kind of want to restart that. That'd be fun. Yeah, okay, so we're starting in the basement unit. So I tried to make this it's a studio, it's got a really skinny bathroom, and so they have a Murphy bed, they're going to have a really tiny kitchen, and this is actually, it's just a basic. It's really basic, it's really average. Like, everything in there is very, very, um, just, I don't know, like someone very basic lives here. Anyone could move in, or maybe someone's not moved in yet, and this is just what started in this house. It's like pre-furnished or whatever, and they only have this like skinny, skinny bathroom, which does in fact work as that 3x1. So if you didn't know, that shower from university, the just like standing one, your sim can actually walk over that. So putting it in the middle of a 3x1 makes that fully functional. So you put a toilet on one side, the sink on the other, and then they can walk over the shower. So really handy in small builds like this. We're trying to figure out how to put a TV as well, and it just doesn't work because the Murphy bed can't fold down, and then if the Murphy bed does fold down, you don't have access to the bathroom. So what I end up doing is just putting a little side table on one. Your sim would have to scooch if there was two of them, and then give them, I try to put a TV like up here so you could watch it from the edge or you could watch it from the kitchen, because I mean, in this day and age, most people have a TV in their house, and then we just throw in a little bit of decor, and we just put a little bit of the flooring. But now we're moving over onto this unit, and this unit really excited me because I got to do something different that I usually don't build like this. You can see I put two bunk beds, and I actually envision that just two college students live here, and they don't really have a full kitchen. They have just a microwave and a fridge and a sink, and then they do have the same tiny bathroom, again, functional. But they live here, and they're gamers, right? They play games. And fun fact about me and my now husband is when we first started moving in together, we had a big long table like you just saw me put there with our computers on either end. And that was really interesting because we live in such a tiny little house. It wasn't a studio, but it was a one bedroom. So we had it set up like that. It was just me, him, and our one dog, Karma. So it was really cool. And I kind of channeled that a little bit there. We've moved up to the top unit on the right hand side. And this one is decorated for maybe a couple who's living or going to college together. They've got a little bit of a bigger bathroom, and they have a full-size TV and a couch and a kitchen, and it's pretty basic. They maybe also just have a full-time job, or they have that. But the interesting part about this unit is I believe I give them a cat, or I give them the stuff to be able to have a cat. So I end up putting like a little food bowl, and then we experiment a little bit with where the litter box would go, and so we were joking that we put it in the hallway, but like, if let's be real, if you put your litter box in the hallway, your landlord would be like, no. So we end up putting it on the balcony. And then we just throw like a chair and a little plant and things in these shared space hallways. And so now we're actually on the final build for this one, where we are going to decorate it for. I tried to go for a different style on this one too. First of all, they have a full shower tub combo in this one, the first unit that has that. But I went a little bit different. So instead of like a couple or a family, this is actually shared by two, I'm picturing it, two university women who just found this rental and they couldn't afford it on their own, but they can afford it together. So they share a room, but they have like the whole house to themselves. So this is kind of cluttered. It's got a lot of pinks. It's got a lot of junk, and their shoes are everywhere. They've got a little bit of an eclectic furniture style where they just have some things like thrown together. You'll see in a minute. I moved the kitchen, but I kind of grabbed like three different styles of chairs and like a small love seat. And it really just brings me back to I never lived in student housing. I was actually a resident advisor for all of college. And there's a video on my YouTube channel kind of walking through those. But this is just really, it brought me back to just having an eclectic set of furniture and just not really having everything together. It really wasn't that themed yet. Um, but yeah, it brought me back. But we're pretty much done the build now, and I think I'm going to walk you through. I try to figure out the other camera angles, but I can't, so I'm going to be practicing with that. But I'm going to wrap up my voiceover as the camera kind of shifts around the house. I'm gonna come back on and stream building my Sims unit as well, but Let me know how you think I should decorate it. If you have any ideas for a university build, if you liked this, if you like the speed build style, I'd love to hear about it. But yeah, I will take off now and finish editing and get this uploaded. But all in all, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you next time.